Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Scaling Brokerage Podcast. Today, Randy has been kind enough to bless us with some of his time. So I'll kick you right off to Randy. I'll let him tell us a little bit about himself and his business.
All right, great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So I'm a real estate broker here in New York. I have a team of myself and 5 other agents, as well as a social media manager, marketing manager, videographer. I work at Compass, and I have been in business for over 25 years. Got my start in 2000 renting apartments just as a solo agent. And, today we are doing, somewhere around $80 million in volume a year on average, I'd say. We work with buyers and sellers. We also work with investors, and occasionally we still do some rentals here and there, but they're much more high-end rentals. In addition to running the team, I'm also a coaching client at Tom Ferry. So I'm always looking to increase my knowledge about real estate, find new tips and tricks in order to better serve my clients and better serve the real estate market here in New York City.
Absolutely. Wonderful. I'd kind of dive right into some of the challenge. I know you said you started in 2000 being in the real estate industry. So I'm sure, we've dealt with a lot in the time in between. What's some of the challenges you faced, running the team, maybe on the recruiting side, anything that you ran into that you feel like has slowed you down or that we kind of learned from there?
Yeah, sure. Well, for the longest time when I was in business, I was just a solo agent. And I was having, it was really difficult for me to move to a business of one in order to, to building and scaling a team. Yeah. There's only so much that I think one person can do or that I could do as one person. So, the first real challenge that I overcame was kind of getting out of my own way and trusting other people and hiring an assistant. So, like I said, I got my license in 2000, and for my first 14 years, I was just a solo agent. Got my first assistant in 2014. And that was, a hugely transformative experience for myself and for my business, being able to delegate a lot of the admin tasks to someone else. And even so, here in New York City, where are you located?
We're based out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. So it's very different out there. But here, we have board packages, and just training, trusting someone else to do a board package the way that I like them done, and to make sure that, we're really putting our clients' best foot forward on the buy side and helping ensure that they get approved in a co-op for the property, and that they don't keep sending the board package back to us to add more information here and there. It was a real learning curve, because then I had to train someone to be able to do it the right way and how I liked it to be done. It's just a difference of working in your business and working on your business. Right now, I see myself kind of like a CEO of my little company, company under the umbrella of Compass. And, a CEO isn't working in the business. They're working on the business. They're not just, but I also like producing. I know a lot of other team leaders that have gotten out of production and they're just kind of growing and managing their team. I really enjoy, showing properties and meeting with clients and negotiating properties. And so I don't, I'm not at this point where I want to give up production. I don't want to just be a full-time manager. So that then entails me training my assistant, who she's been with me for 5 years, and over that maybe 6 now, this is our 6th year working together. And I'm kind of growing her position to be an operations and transaction manager, an operations manager, really. So she's kind of managing the team, and I'm, on the, dreaming side, coming up with new ways of scaling the business and coming up with new ways of marketing, in order to, find more clients, and also find more agents. We're in the process now of hiring, and I'm looking for 2 agents. Hopefully we'll get those, sometime in the first quarter of this year. But that was
Absolutely.
really one of the first obstacles, was changing from a single agent to really looking at this as a business that I can grow and scale. And so it's been like 10 years that I've been a team leader, and my first 15 years in the business was just kind of a jack of all trades doing everything. Yeah.
I get you. Well, and you segued it pretty perfectly there. Are you doing anything right now to market your brokerage? Anything that can get the word out there that you're wanting to
Well,
bring
you know,
team?
that's a question that I have to, that I really want to talk to my coach about this week. It's on my agenda. But the way that we're currently marketing is very soft marketing process. We're approaching other agents that last year we had a really great experience doing deals with, and seeing where we might be able to assist them in growing their business. Because my role to my agents is to really help them have a long-lasting, fruitful experience in this industry. It's to teach them to be the best agent that they can be, to be able to have a sustainable career in real estate for 25 years like I have. And so so that's one way, is just looking at the agents that we've worked with that might want to, that might feel that they can do more with us than they're doing either on their own or with their current team. We also have an ad on Indeed for agents. And, we're kind of advertising on our social media. We have a lot of followers on social media, something we kind of got into around the pandemic. We now have something like 22,000 and change on Instagram followers, many of whom are real estate agents. We have around 300,000 on TikTok, but that's kind of dwindling, and that's a whole other experience. I have another podcast I'm doing with RAS Media tomorrow to talk about what happens if they ban TikTok on the 19th, which they might. And so
It's been in talks for a while now, right? I remember hearing about that.
It's been on talks for a while, so who knows what will happen. We have some plans in place and stuff like that. But those are the main ways that we're trying to find some new agents. And I'm sure that finding an agent, I was talking with another team leader, is like finding a listing. It's really a full-time job. And so, I want to find some other avenues to find some great agents. But it's not like we want to just have anyone. We don't just need a bot. We need someone who's going to fit in with our culture, and who is going to feel that they can really benefit from us, and that we can feel we can benefit from them. Yeah.
And that's the name of the game, right? If we can help our our agents in their business, and obviously, and on the back, it helps us as well. That's how we keep people happy. We motivate or promote their at home life, their business life.
Exactly.
All things combined. Yeah, that's going to make for one happy agent, right?
Definitely.
Nice. And on the recruiting side, have you felt like you've ran into anything there, like any hurdles, anything that you felt like has really slowed down the recruiters, or just been kind of wearing all the hats at the?
I think it's kind of like walking that fine line of, we really want someone, but we can't just take anyone. We hired someone last year that was just not a good fit for our team, and we kind of brought them on pretty quickly. And it turned out that they just weren't a great fit. With I like the person, but some of the other agents had some issues. And we're really like a family. We all get along really, really well. Some of the agents on our team, they'll go out, they'll go to dinners. They even took a weekend. There's a couple women on my team that all became friends, and they took like a trip upstate, together.
Right.
And that's really what we want. We want people who we love to spend time with. My team, we're in the office every day, so we don't work from home. That's one hurdle. A lot of agents, they just want to work from home. and that's fine. And if that's great for them, then that's totally great for them. That just doesn't work with the way that our team works. I personally feel that I can't offer as much as I can offer in terms of training and guidance, just not sitting with the people every day. And even having that bonding experience of chit-chatting, from our desks, talking about what we did that week over the weekend, or some good restaurant recommendations, having that feeling of friendship, as well as, a good professional relationship. Like we're not all best friends and everything like that, but we're all very close work friends. We're working together 7 days a week, every day, pretty much all day.
More time I spend with the family, most cases.
Yeah, and so, one of the agents on my team, she just had a baby, and so she's out for 3 months at least. I don't know. She'll come back when she's ready to come back to the office. I'm not forcing her to come back at any time. She'll come back whenever she's ready. But in the meantime, she's now, enjoying the experience of being a new mom, and we need someone here in the office to pick up, bring in the business.
A little bit.
So, we want people that, I think when you form like a tight-knit bond, people don't want to leave, because it's like you're leaving your friends. And so if someone's great, I'd love for them to stay forever and for us to, really have a great working relationship. But if someone just wants to benefit from our training and then go off on their own or start their own team or whatnot, we're happy to give them the resources where they can fly and do their own thing. No one's handcuffed here. We want people to want to stay. So it's hard. I want someone who has enough experience that they know how to do deals, and that they know how to talk to people and know how to be a salesperson, but also, someone who feels like that they would benefit from training and benefit from the guidance and systems that are in place by joining a team. Yeah,
absolutely. And it can be huge, especially for those agents, that are maybe not having the best go at it, being kind of independent. Joining a team, having that, that accountability, having those, those other peers in the market that are, doing the same thing, facilitating the same deal.
It's an interesting time in the industry. I mean, I think any election year where a new incoming administration is coming in and one is going out there, that everybody has a lot of questions and concerns. Here in New York, a lot of our clients work in the financial sector. But we also work with a lot of people from all walks of life, and it's one thing, when everything's kind of chugging along, I think it's a different thing to continue having a predictable business, consistent, predictable business that's not reacting to the hills and valleys of the market that we're in. I was a broker through 2008, 2009, 2010. I was a broker through COVID. I was a broker in 2022 and 2023 and 2024 when interest rates were going from 2% to 7%. The first 10 years of my business, from 2000 to 2010, interest rates were somewhere between 8 and 12%. And that was like the norm. The only reason that they went down was because we had a crazy market crash in 2009.
Yeah.
So we hope that we don't have a market crash like that. So I think people are getting more used to 6 and 7% interest rates. Here in New York, it's a lot more expensive. So the majority of people are getting jumbo loans, and those are between 6 and 6.5% right now on a jumbo loan. I just got something from Wells Fargo yesterday. For non-jumbo loans, for regular 30-year fixed loans, then you're in 7 to 7.5%. For investment properties, you could be at 7.5%. I think, to me, 6% feels great. So I think, people are gonna move because they need to move, not just because they're aspirational in terms of their desire to sell their property. And so, that's one of the other benefits of joining a team and joining my team, is that we really want to teach our agents to have a consistent, predictable business. Another hot topic is the buyer's agent agreements right now. We work with buyers, we work with sellers. I think it's great to have a commitment with a buyer where we never had a commitment before. Just like we have a commitment with our sellers. And to do that, we have to demonstrate our value to buyers, just like we do when we demonstrate our value to sellers. When I sign up a new listing, why are you going to hire me? Well, I need to prove to you what I can do to bring value to our relationship and help you sell your home for the most money in a timely manner and in a professional manner. And that's what we need to be able to demonstrate and to show our buyers. I have a real problem with a lot of these real estate reality shows.
Oh yeah, you have been $1 million listings and
all of them. Every single real estate reality show paints a completely pretend, fantastical picture of our jobs, and it doesn't show us as professionals. It just shows us as these fancy people that take helicopters all over the place and do all these fancy things. And in the reality is, the day-to-day of being a real estate agent, it's not about living some fantasy life. It's about really helping our clients. The best real estate agents are people pleasers and people. The type of people that want to help people, that like engaging with people. And I think that our industry has done a really bad job of really explaining what we do to the general public and how working with a real estate professional will make their experience much, much better, will, get them that property that they didn't even know was for sale, or that, we're getting a great price, making life easier for either our buyer clients or our seller clients. We're here in the service, we're a service industry. And so we're here to offer advice, offer our knowledge, make their lives easier, and either save them money or make them money or just find them a wonderful place to live, or help them sell their home and help them achieve their goals for whatever is next. So, that we're in an interesting environment there as well. So we're in an environment where having, working with a lead agent like myself, or like so many agents in the business who are seasoned, who've been through the ups and downs of real estate over a significant period of time, and have still managed to build a successful business and grow their successful business, even when there's outside forces totally beyond our control that make it a little bit more challenging. The challenges make us better agents. And if there's agents that can't handle the challenges, then there's other ways of learning to increase our skill set and our knowledge set in order to help us better serve our clients. And whether that's working with a team or attending coaching, getting a coach, there's so much information out there to help us all be better at our jobs and really help us better serve the communities in which we live. Because generally, that's where we're doing our business, is where we're living. Most people here in New York City do the most business in the communities, the neighborhoods that they're living in. There are agents that I know that are very, very successful that live outside of New York City, that live in the suburbs and commute into the city. But that's usually after many, 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 many years of working here within New York City. But it's very
building that pipeline.
My first thing that I say when I go into a pitch is to a client is, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just curious, how important is it to you that your broker live within the neighborhood that they're serving? Because then that kind of that's like my niche against some of these agents that are coming in from New Jersey. They could be a great agent, but if they have to commute into New Jersey, like, how are they showing their property? Like, when they get a great call.
And that's one of the best abilities of
those agents. They have their little spiel of making it not that important that an agent is in the neighborhood that they serve. But
Well, great. And so kind of to head into the future, what would be what's the vision look like for you guys? Like where do you see yourself, and where do you see the team headed?
Yeah, so right now, like I said, we have about 5 agents. My goal would be to say double that over the next 3 years or something like that. I'm not looking to double it in a year or move super quickly. It's more of an organic growth. I say that I do need 2 people now because I just lost one, and when she was here, I was still looking for one more great agent. And so it's really growing the team a little bit over time. I feel that like the only way to, my goal is to get to $2 million average of GCI a year. Took me forever to get to 1 million average of GCI. And that was like, whoa, that was like a major breakthrough when I did my first year and got 1 million in GCI. I was like, wow. And now over the last 3 or 4 years, that's become the norm of doing 1 million or 1.5 million, a little more. But my big goal is getting to that $2 million in GCI on average. And then that becomes the norm. It's weird. Yeah. Like you hit this insurmountable, or that you thought was insurmountable, and then you hit it and you're like, wow, that's now normal. And so, one of the ways that our team can kind of get there again is to bring on a couple people that are great agents and that are hungry and that are good, are trained well, and they're consistent. I think, again, these reality shows, I get people coming in feeling that like from day one, they're going to be walking around like $50 million penthouses. And maybe they will. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who they're. If anyone out there is listening that has some contacts to $50 million penthouses and want to join our team, come. But we work in all price ranges. We work in $300,000, $400,000 studio apartments to $12, $15 million townhouses and penthouses and things like that. $20 million, I think, is the most expensive listing I ever had. But that's not like the average. Like right now, especially in a difficult market, my advice is to, we're looking at the stuff that sells. So I'm using everything from just all of the data that I have at my disposal here at Compass to ChatGPT to just, speaking with colleagues and managers, finding like where were the most contracts sold last year? What's the neighborhood? What's the type of property? Was it a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom, a townhouse? What was it? What sold? Where were the most contracts signed? And what's the price range of the most contracts signed? And that's the stuff that's moving. And that's the stuff that I want. I don't care if it's a $20 million place. I don't care if it's a $1 million place. Like I want the products that the market wants. You want the stuff that people want to buy. You want the product that people want to buy. And, that's our bread and butter. So let's say my average sale is $2.5 million. And my, an agent on my team, their average sale is $1.5 million. And, the most contracts were sold last of 2024 were like 2 bedrooms in the West Village. That's what we want. 2 bedrooms in the West Village for whatever that average price range was. So, we're going where the market is. And I think that's like kind of my goal for this year is to not get caught up in these crazy numbers that are just, it's nice to have a $20 million property, but if it sits on the market and never sells, it doesn't benefit you or the sellers or anyone. You're just pouring money and time into it, and no one is benefiting out of that. But sometimes it takes a while to sell something, and then the money kind of is there, and
Even
then
yeah, makes it a little more worth it, right?
yeah. Finally, after like a year, I finally sold this one thing. But it's like, how many hours did I put into it? Maybe I could have sold $21 million apartments much
Yeah,
faster than that $120 million apartment. So,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I'm not
Well,
most of my stuff is not these $20 million apartments. It's like, the general, like in New York City, $2.5 million kind of gets you like a 2 bedroom generally.
oh yeah,
Um,
I've checked them out on Zillow before.
yeah, yeah, like a 2.5 bedroom, like maybe a 3 bedroom in the not most expensive area, or a great 2 bedroom. I think 2 million is like 2 bedroom pretty much. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Arizona used to be like, where we're based out of here, used to be like, kind of more similar to like Texas, or kind of just a lower, cost of living state.
Yeah.
Housing was cheaper. Everything surrounding it was cheaper. But as 2020 happened and everything changing since, we've kind of closed that gap a little bit between like us and like California, who's right next to us, or Vegas. We're
Yeah.
kind of closing the gap on the cost of houses, cost of living, everything.
Oh yeah. No, I have some family out there in Phoenix, and
Oh,
the
really?
market there is wild. It's really it's very busy out there. Not a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah, especially compared to like
pretty
10,
fast.
15 years ago.
Oh yeah. No, we were looking for some investment properties there, and it's like really hard to find anything. Especially there's like a couple neighborhoods like not far from the college, Arizona State.
Over in Tempe.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's busy everywhere, and I think these interest rates have kind of kept people who didn't need to sell on the sidelines, because I
Yeah.
think if you're locked into 3% 30-year fixed mortgage,
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to go rent an apartment. It's gonna run me the
you're
same.
not going to just move unless you
Yeah.
have to move,
Yeah.
but there's always reasons for people to upsize and downsize and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and jump into kind of advice for some newer brokers out, newer team leaders out there. If you were starting over today, taking it all the way back to 2000 there, or I think you said about 2000, right?
Yeah, if I was starting over today, New York is a little bit different, but here in New York, I had a really big rental business before I moved into sales. So that was a business that was pretty consistent, renting apartments. And I did that for a long time before I moved into sales. I would probably get started faster in sales, and I'd probably jump on a team at the beginning, because then I would get the knowledge from the leader on the team to really, jumpstart my real estate career much faster than by having to learn everything myself over trial and error over the course of many, many years. So if I was a new agent, I'd probably find a seasoned agent who's looking for some help, and join a team and just do anything that I can to grow my business. I'd read. I'm a big proponent of constantly reading and growing my knowledge base to better help myself and better help my clients. Some great books that I've recently read, were Ninja Sales. That's an amazing book. The Atomic Habits has been another great book.
Oh, yeah.
And the most recent book that I've read that's been incredible is the 12-Week Year, and that's kind of something that we've been working on starting last year, and we're really working hard on that 12-week year this year.
Nice. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, no, and have to. If any of the viewers are looking at them, I'm sure they can find them on like Amazon or anything there to check out some of those books.
Yeah,
but yeah, reading is definitely a huge, especially in the real estate industry. We get so many different perspectives and so much more knowledge from people in the past, than maybe 20 years ago, or people that writing in the past year or two. It's all going to still
probably get into coaching a little bit sooner. I think Tom Ferry's been a huge positive impact on my business.
Absolutely.
Just in terms of putting systems in place, scaling my business, hiring the assistant, just benefiting from the knowledge of agents who are successful from all across the country. So Getting into coaching, is helping. For me, it takes a village. real estate wasn't my first thing. Business wasn't my first thing. And, it didn't come as quickly to me. I'm good with people and I'm a good salesman. I think I like talking and I'm a good communicator and a good listener. And it's, just generally, I think reading people and I get along with people and so I think just having that natural personality helped. But again, I think things would have moved faster had I joined a team, gotten into coaching, and really, really expanded my knowledge by reading these helpful books. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And then coaching is definitely a huge piece. I mean, even I believe they all do, but even Elon Musk is the first one. I was thinking Jeff Bezos is the one. He has a coach as well. Like you see him, speaking at events, and he has his coach behind him.
Exactly.
So yeah, no one's ever too big for even some of the richest people.
No one is too big. And the end of the day, like I got into coaching because there were agents that I met who were way beyond me at that time. Now I think I'm doing as much business as them. But at that time, I was like renting these tiny little apartments and they were selling these multi-million-dollar properties and having these teams and things. And I'm like, I wanted to model their actions, like what are they doing that's helping bring them success? And if I can do the same thing, then I could get similar results.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes just being in the market, being consistent, with our agents, with our actions,
it
goes a long way. Goes a long way, especially, while we're on top of treating our agents like family and keeping a close knit, really tight family in the office.
Yeah.
It goes a long way especially when other agents come in and they see that. They can see, they can sense, if there's any awkwardness in the room, or maybe someone doesn't like someone. And that can kind of create, a little bit of, do I want to make that change? Obviously, maybe there's some things going on here.
Right.
But having everyone, friends, family, all in the office is definitely a huge key to making, building that culture and continuing.
Exactly. Because we want everyone to want to hang out and to come in every day. And so, that's what kind of keeps us wanting to be around each other, come in, we make it fun, yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, and you guys heard it here. If you're in New York, looking for some new ideas, looking to, join up on a team. Maybe you're just getting started in the industry, or maybe you've been around, maybe you're doing $50 million listings, every day. You know where to find Randy, or actually I should have said that. Randy will let you know where to find them. Do you have any social media, anywhere?
Definitely. So my website is baruhteam.com, BARUHTEAM.com. My Instagram is Randy Baruh, RANDY BARUH, my name. My YouTube is the same, Randy Baruh. Okay. And TikTok is Randy_Baruh. So definitely give us a follow and I'll follow you back, and would love to, share insights and, work together to try to help this industry and help each other be our best. Yeah.
Love it. Hey, and we'll have everything linked down below. So if you guys would like to get in touch with Randy, you guys will have opportunities to find him, to get in touch there down below. But thank you so much. We appreciate you really.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thanks for having me.